Hi everyone, welcome to Bible Reading with Ariel. Today we are reading Proverbs chapter 21. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turns it wherever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord ponders the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to abundance, but of every one that is hasty only to want. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous man wisely considers the house of the wicked, but God overthrows the wicked for their wickedness. Whoever stops his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the death. He that loves pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loves wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spends it up. He that follows after righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and casts down the strength of the confidence of it. Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from troubles. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who deals in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful kills him, and his hands refuse to labor. He covets greedily all day long, but the righteous gives and spares not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he brings it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but the man that hears speaks constantly. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he directs his way. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. So I'm going to go back and reread a few verses that stand out to me. Verse 3 says, "To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice." And in verse 27, it says, "The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he brings it with a wicked mind?" And we see in 1 Samuel 15, it says that obedience is better than sacrifice. So it seems as though God really wants our heart before our actions. We might say that obedience is an action, but true obedience comes from the heart. There has to be a desire to be in God's will, and it has to be motivated by love. We love Him because He first loved us. And the Bible also says to be a cheerful giver. And so this is a common theme throughout the Bible, that it's not just the action that satisfies, but the heart behind the action. So I'll go back and I'll read verse 5. It says, "The thoughts of the diligent tend only to abundance, but of every one that is hasty only to want." So I looked at Webster's definition of diligence. It says having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. And then I looked up the definition for hasty, which says acting with excessive speed or insufficient consideration. So we see here that it's not only important what we do, but how we do it. You know, are we level headed and thinking clearly? Are we taking our time? Are we making sure that we get it right? Or are we just, rushing in, heart racing, mind clouded, constantly, messing things up along the way? My personal example of this is I used to bake a lot. So I would mess up the most when I got all in my head and I got, really nervous and rushed through it. And then I usually would have to go back and redo it. And, later I realized that it would have taken me half the time if I just started out, calm and, took my time and thought through the process and everything I was going to do. So I will end by reading verse 31. It says, "The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord." And there's a difference between winning the battle and being delivered from the battle. The outcomes are the same. However, one takes a lot of our own effort, time, and energy, and the other is the Lord's doing. There are things that we can do for ourselves and for others, but then there are some things that only the Lord can do. Or, even if we can do it ourselves, we don't have to. And I believe this speaks to the importance of prayer and going to God for direction in situations. We saw back in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." So there will be times when he tells us to do something, and then there will be times where he says, step back and let me do it. But we need to go to him to truly know which is which. And so I'll just read verse 30, which says, "There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord." So take time to really think about that and consider it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, everyone.